Hi, and welcome to Good Deeds Real Estate with a Mission. I'm Diane Davidson, Bill Weidecker with our second podcast. I'm going to say it, Barbara Wall, just now, 2024. Anyway, today we thought we would discuss why hire a real estate agent, what we bring to the table for buyers and for sellers. What is the value we contribute? So, which would you like to start? Well, in general.
I think you just said a key word, value. Because you've heard me say this before, that in the absence of value, price becomes the last determining factor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Price is always an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the real estate agents and realtors, there's become this commoditization where, you all kind of do the same thing. It's well, if that's the case, if all we did was the same thing, then we should all be, judged based on who has the best price. And I don't think that's really, I think you, as a consumer, we know we don't do that on other things, right?
Exactly.
We look for value, and price might have something to do with it, but in most cases, it's what am I getting for the investment that I'm giving?
Yep.
So when you think, what do we do? I'll start the ball rolling, and then we can talk this through together.
We as in realtors, or we as in members of our team?
We as in the Fine Homes Group.
Thank you.
Because I think, lots of times when let's talk about the sell side first.
Okay.
People think, well, I'm going to list my house. In this market, everything's selling. It shouldn't be hard. They'll take some pictures. They'll put it up online, and a buyer will come and they'll give me an offer. It won't be hard. And so, and I think that's just the beginning of the process in this market. Finding a buyer is not hard in this market, but finding the right buyer amongst a mix of buyers, or negotiating with the better buyer in the bunch to get them to pay what somebody else might be willing to pay, is it's very artful. It's not just so cut and dried to say, okay, this one's offering the highest price, then you should take this one and not that one. If this buyer is better, let's say they're a cash buyer, and this buyer is a mortgage buyer, and I'm just picking a very rudimentary example. They're willing to pay more. This cash buyer's offered less. But if you can get them to pay more than this one, they might be better.
Might be.
And so I think these are the things that we deal with all the time. You say?
Well, so I'm going back to from the very beginning, from before, when the listing is a twinkle in the owner's eyes, right? So preparing the property, timing's important, marketing's important, preparation's important, exposure's important, and that is going to bring pricing strategy is critical, and we have a particular method that we use to double the audience and bring more buyers, more consumers to every property, and it is tried and true. And so that competition usually creates a pool of offers. And so then you start looking at each one, as you said, and figuring out the best combination of price and terms for a seller. I think what's unique about our value, if you will, is that we always look at our listings and our seller's interest sort of through buyer's eyes, and our buyer's interest through seller's eyes. So we understand how to appeal to the other side. And the other side isn't the enemy. I mean, that's the other thing
right.
that we're really clear on at the Fine Homes Group, is that when we represent one party, the agent and other party across the table is across the table. They're not on the other side. They just happen to be across, and there's a common goal. Pardon me, Rachel. There's a common goal, which is for that seller to sell their home to the buyer that wants to buy their home.
Yeah, successful transfer of the property.
Exactly,
yeah.
And we always strive to be the calmest people in the room, and to continue to move toward that mutual goal. And so I know I'm kind of going roundabout here, but it starts with our expertise and our ability to elicit trust in the people for whom we work, the people that we serve. And I know that we function at a very high level, and negotiation is one facet of that, right? Mm-hmm. Negotiation is very important so that everybody has their eye on the prize, which is that common goal. We employ strategies on behalf of our sellers that we understand are not that are all, can also be in the buyer's best interest and vice versa, because we've learned from over the years doing many transactions, we've learned what the other party is looking for. We've learned that there truly is such a thing as a win-win. Is that all too airy-fairy?
No,
That makes sense.
it very much makes sense, and I also feel I feel like this is a very skilled position when it comes to that those subtle nuances
Mm-hmm.
of representing the buyer or representing the seller to get them to a position where everybody can come to an agreement.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned a point of trust. I think that's the biggest thing, is because
Absolutely.
once I know this, like for instance, if I go to the doctor's office and they give me a bunch of forms to sign, I sign them blindly now. Why? Because I've come to trust in the experience I've had with this doctor over the years.
Right.
I'm not, something is being put in front of me that I'm going to regret. And we find that happens with our clients, right? With similar situations.
Yep.
Where they go, what do I need to... Now, if we had just met them, and we're only 2 minutes into it, and we didn't know them and they didn't know us, and we said, here's a document, sign that. They would say, whoa, hold on. So, but trust is a big factor in working with the client. Whether it's the buy side or the sell side. When they can come to trust you, you can then bring the advice that you need to bring that they're going to listen to.
Yep.
Brand new, when somebody doesn't know, they're going to want to trust, but they haven't come to trust.
Yep. Well, we're very, very conscious of not just explaining what we do for people, but why we do it and how it helps them and how it benefits them. Because that goes back to value. If people don't understand kind of what's in it for them, if they don't understand how it benefits them and their situation, then there isn't the value. You're not establishing the value, and they shouldn't want to pay. There shouldn't be any compensation at all. So we're very, I think, respectful of people's need to understand the process and for us to provide context for them. I mean, we talked about this earlier. There's plenty of information online. There's plenty. Almost too much, because people don't understand what to weed out. People don't understand how much noise there is. And I think that's largely what they come to us for, so that we can distill all that information down so that they understand what's important and we understand what's important to them.
Context.
Exactly.
Yeah, listen, not every cup of coffee is the same. Not every automobile is the same. Not every professional in other industries are the same. That's the case in real estate, which is, I feel like we bring a lot of experience and expertise to the table, and our clients benefit from that.
Exactly.
That is the biggest thing is we bring the context, the ability to elicit trust, give good advice, and be skilled in our ability to negotiate on their behalf.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, this is a little bit of a brag, but we've been told by lenders who pre-approve a lot of buyers, right, that our success rate of having buyers' offers accepted is far, far, far greater than many other agents they work with.
Well, you said it earlier. You are working with the buyer and putting an offer together through the eyes of a seller. And the same thing when properly presenting a property so that it appeals to the eyes of a buyer.
Mm-hmm.
In all things,
Mm-hmm.
Pricing, condition, marketing, all of that together.
Yep.
Well, listen, it's not a bit of a brag. It's a brag, but a brag for the right reasons. I think you got to be able to talk about what you do and why you do it and why you're better than the competition. Otherwise, how do they make choices?
Right. People are buying our services.
Yeah.
And we ought to be able to deliver.
Yeah.
And we are able to deliver, and I'm very proud of it. And I'm just gonna, our team, we helped a lot of people in 2023 in a market where the number of sales was way off. Ours weren't, and I'm very proud of, and I'm very grateful to have been able to help so many.
We outperformed the market by 20%.
Yeah.
which is a big number.
It is a big number.
So,
Anyway, yeah, that's right, exactly.
pat on the back.
And we grew our family.
Yes, one
Anyway, One more.
mouth to feed.
Anyway, so thank you. Thank you for 2023, and I look forward to helping more people in 2024
Indeed.
and honing our skills even further. So please be sure to follow us on your favorite podcast platform or tune into our YouTube channel. Thank you.